Welcome back to World of Immersion. Today we are going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights 2022 and what the future holds for Halloween Horror Nights in 2023. We're going to be recapping how good the event was this year and talking about what could be the future for Halloween Horror Nights 2023 as well as what has already been announced. That's right, we already have an announcement for a maze for next year's Halloween Horror Nights at both Orlando and Hollywood. So make sure to stay tuned so you can find out just exactly what maze that will be. If you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss it when we have brand new videos from all of your favorite Southern California theme parks. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting off, let's talk about this year's Halloween Horror Nights. Overall, I think that this year was a fantastic year for Horror Nights and definitely one of the best ones in the last few years. It is definitely a step up from 2021's Halloween Horror Nights because they have so many more mazes and I feel like the maze quality is just so much better. That being said, last year's event was definitely a reduced event because of COVID. However, this year I feel like they're definitely able to go all out and I cannot wait to see what happens for next year's event. This year's event had such an incredible lineup of mazes, one of the best lineups of mazes we have seen ever. And while I think that the scare zones could definitely do some work for next year, they definitely could improve upon those. I think that the mazes were phenomenal. While we already have a video up ranking all of the mazes at Halloween Horror Nights, I have actually changed my mind as the season has gone on, and some of the mazes got a lot better, and some of them fell down a little bit. So here is my final rankings of all of the mazes at Halloween Horror Nights. Starting off, coming in last place at number 9, we have the Terror Tram. I just feel like it could have used a little bit of work. It was not as scary as it has been before, or as compared to some of the other mazes. Followed by Blumhouse. Once again, this maze was not as scary as some of the other ones, and it had a ton of black walls, so that's why it was so much lower on the list for me. At number 7, I have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This maze was really good visually, it just was really not that scary. At number 6 is Horror Hotel. This one's kind of the opposite of Killer Clowns. It definitely had some great scares, but the sets could use a little bit of work. At number 5, we have Legends Collide. Overall, just a great maze. I love the classic Monsters mazes in general, and this maze also had a fantastic soundtrack. And at number 4 was Halloween. This maze was also incredible. Some fantastic jump scares with Michael Myers. Definitely one of the best Halloween mazes they've had in a while. At number 3, we have The Weekend, the maze that jumped up the most from our previous ranking. This maze, I think, was a lot better than I first initially thought. This maze had some incredible sets, and actually the scares were really good. I think I just had some bad walkthroughs the first few times. At number 2, we still have La Llorona. This maze was terrifying, some fantastic set design, some of the best scares ever. And at number 1 is still my current favorite maze of all time at Halloween Horror Nights, and that is Scarecrow the Reaping. This maze was terrifying. It had some fantastic jump scares, some great set design. My only complaint is it was a little bit short. But overall, this year's lineup was phenomenal. All of these mazes were really, really good, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for next year's event. Alright, but now let's talk about what is going to be happening next year at Halloween Horror Nights 2023. Yesterday, on October 31st, on Halloween, they announced a brand new maze for next year's Halloween Horror Nights, and that is going to be Chucky. There is going to be a Chucky maze at both Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood and Orlando. In fact, Chucky himself did the announcement. It was a really cool video. I highly suggest you go check it out. But yeah, I'm just super excited for this maze. I'm a huge fan of the Child's Play movies. I think Chucky is a phenomenal horror movie villain, and I think it will be great to have a maze with him in it. I just think it's going to be a little interesting to see how they do the scares with him, being that he is a puppet and a lot smaller than some of the scare actors normally are. So are there going to be puppet scares, or are they going to be full-on scare actors? I guess we'll just have to see, but I'm super excited. I think this will be one of the best mazes that they have for next year. But let's talk about what I would like to see at Halloween Horror Nights in 2023. I think definitely one of the things I would like to see them work on is maybe having some more scare zones and taking some time to really put effort into the scare zones. This year, the 2 scare zones they had, or 3, but really 2 of them were combined into 1, so it was more like 2 scare zones. They were really good, however, I just wish there was more. There are no scare zones besides the very front entrance of the park. And while they did have the Death Eaters, I think that was a great addition. I think they should definitely bring those back next year. They really were lacking in scare zones. So next year, I would love to see them use brand new scare zones, new areas for scare zones. I think that would be fantastic. Additionally, I would love to see them bring back the backlot for Halloween Horror Nights. Back in 2019, they used the backlot for 3 mazes, and it just was so cool. It felt like an entirely different theme park. They had some theming out there. They had a scare zone on your way there, as well as a scare zone all the way there in the backlot, and it just was super cool. They had Ghostbusters back there, which fit right into the New York set of the backlot, and I think it would be fantastic if they could do that for next year. Plus, it would allow them to use a bunch more mazes back there. Additionally, maybe something like removing the Terror Tram and putting the 2 mazes back like they had in 2019 in that area would be a great addition. I would love to see them have more mazes rather than just the 8 mazes plus the Terror Tram. I think having 10 mazes next year could really show that they are going all out and have more scare zones as well. That could be super cool. I would love to see them do certain other mazes too that they've never done before, like maybe bringing some of the original mazes from Orlando over, like they did with Scarecrow. And based on the success of Scarecrow from this year, I have no doubt that they will probably bring some of those mazes from Orlando over here to Hollywood as well, and see what John Murdy can do with those concepts. Additionally, I am sure that they will have another Halloween maze. They almost always have one every year because it is super popular, so I'm super excited to see that again. It's possible that they also bring back a few of the mazes from this past year. However, I don't expect too many of them to come back. I think it's possible that Horror Hotel will come back since it is already indoors in the Walking Dead set, so it'll be really easy for them not to take it down. Additionally, it is probably likely that the Terror Tram will be returning, but most likely with a different theme. However, I would also love to see some new IPs come into the park. For example, I would love to see a Scream maze. With Scream 6 coming out in January, I think it would be perfect for them to start doing a Scream maze, either themed to the new one or the original Scream. Scream being one of my favorite horror movies of all time, I think that would be a fantastic maze to have. I think it would fit so well as a house, and I think they should definitely do it. Additionally, I would love to see them work with Netflix again and do some of their movies or TV shows again, like Stranger Things. I was really hoping for a Stranger Things 4 maze this past year. However, we did not get that, but possibly 2023 is the year for that. However, that is going to do it for all of my predictions, thoughts on this year's event, and thoughts on next year's event. I want you to comment down below what you think is going to be coming to Halloween Horror Nights in 2023 and what you thought of Halloween Horror Nights of 2022. I thought this year's event was incredible, but definitely other people have different opinions, so be sure to comment down below what you think. Before you go today though, be sure to check out all of our videos from Halloween Horror Nights in 2022. We have tons of videos up on this channel, ranging from our first night vlog to our ranking of all of the mazes. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll catch you in the next World of Immersion video.